Hare Krishna, welcome back to Sankirtanon, your hub for captivating Sankirtan stories, practical tips and tricks, and boundless inspiration from around the globe. Powered by the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust and devotees like you, Sankirtanon is created to support the Sankirtan movement globally and keep the transcendental sound vibrations going.
Every week, we have an episode that helps you connect with Srila Prabhupada's books by inspiring you to both read and distribute them. So let's get to it.
Hare Krishna, welcome to Sankirtan On. I am your host for today, Malini Devi Dasi, and I am thrilled to have you with us for another inspiring episode. Today, we are very honored to have a very special guest joining us, an enthusiastic and accomplished Sankirtan devotee all the way from Malaysia. At the young age of 4 years old, she joined ISKCON in 1986 with her parents at Sri Jagannath Mandir in Kuala Lumpur. From her youth, she participated in book distribution, cooking services, temple cleaning, and flower decoration. She accepted Harinam Diksha initiation in September 2009 from His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, followed by Brahmin initiation in September 2017. Furthermore, she has completed her Bhakti Shastri studies in 2024. Having graduated with a Bachelor of Laws in London, she now works as part of the legal counsel in HP Supply Operations. Along with her godbrother Gokul Damodar Prabhu, they organized the Bhadra Purnima campaign program for Malaysia first in 2018 and during the COVID pandemic. Up till today, she continues to actively participate in BBT campaigns and goes out regularly for book distribution. Please join me in welcoming Her Grace Malini Priti Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for taking the time to join us today.
Hi Krishna, Nikunja Vasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. I'm so happy to meet you here, and I'm so happy to know that I have a fellow Sankirtan devotee who's right there in Australia. And thank you so much for letting me know on all the book distribution activities that you are doing. You are very inspiring to me.
You're very inspiring for me, Mataji. I love watching and seeing all your posts on WhatsApp and all your stories that you share. It's very inspiring for us as well to encourage us to go out regularly on book distribution.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to his transcendental book distribution.
Jay.
Right.
So, Mataji, you're very active in book distribution. So we were wondering, how did you get involved and what inspired you to do regular book distribution?
Okay, since I grew up in Krishna consciousness, we had the greatest opportunity to have the wonderful association of so many Prabhupada's disciples, visiting disciples, and who stayed here to preach in Malaysia, and the devotees who pioneered Krishna consciousness here, and the movement when it started in ISKCON Malaysia started. It grew through book distribution and life membership program and distribution of Bhagavatam sets. So every time they speak about the glories of book distribution, how much it pleases Srila Prabhupada. So I've been hearing that since I was a kid, and it really attracted me. So as I was growing up, and then we used to participate in the temple Harinam, Radha Yatra, and there's a special festival that is called as Taipusam Festival, which is held at Batu Caves, and millions of devotees come for the festival. That is a celebration for Lord Kartigaya or Muruga. And at that place they have like book stalls, stalls. So ISKCON actually take advantage, take opportunity, and set up bookstall plus prashadam stalls, and they do food for life activities. So I have exposure to book distribution that at that point when I was in my teens. And when you're young, you feel really enthusiastic and energetic, and then when your president tells you to do a service, we just follow. We are very we learn we are trained to be submissive, and we learn, like, okay, go out, go and try to do the book distribution. And we get so excited, and I went to try out to distribute books, and in my heart it was like, okay, this service is gonna please Srila Prabhupada, and that's the spirit that I had. And later, as I was growing up, as when I was in my, yeah, later when I became the youth council secretary,
Mhm.
and we used to organize book distribution festivals, as book distribution activities across Malaysia. And then after that period was over, the temple's book distribution, it was not as regular as before. It was during Harinam, that is held monthly. So I felt that there's something that is missing from my life. You know, what is there's something that is missing. I prayed to Prabhupada, what is this that I'm missing? Like there's no regular activity for me. Yes, I participate in the Harinam, but and we do book distribution then, but there must be something that I should be doing often. And Prabhupada said this quote that without preaching, you are like like a dead person. There's a that is said by actually Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And I thought
Yes.
I like book distribution activities. And my Guru Maharaj, he at that time it was Purushottama month. He said that one of the activities that you can do, and if you observe Purushottama month and you get all these benefits, and one of the activities that you should be doing is to do book distribution. I thought, okay, Guru Maharaj is saying, and my Guru Maharaj is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj,
Mhm.
and I heard that instructions. I thought that okay, I want to go out and distribute books during Purushottama month. I did week after week, and then I thought, okay, I want to do this regularly. This is what I that has been missing from my life. It's to preach. My Guru Maharaj has many instructions given by Srila Prabhupada, and there's one special instruction that Prabhupada gave him, that he should distribute 10,000 big books and 100,000 small books per month. So he
Oh, wow.
has, yeah, so His Holiness Jayapataka Swami has repeatedly mentioned about these instructions in all his classes. And
Mm.
he says that he instructs that he wants his disciples to assist him to fulfill the mission of Srila Prabhupada. I thought that, okay, Guru Maharaj, I like this, to do this seva for you, for your pleasure. And so I thought that, okay, I'm going to go and do this on a regular basis. There's one thing about His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. He's everything is like Lord Chaitanya preach, Lord Chaitanya preach, and then
Mm.
he told that um, both men and women, both men and women are equally spiritual in Krishna consciousness. It is your
Mhm.
duty to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. In his spiritual discourses lately and his monthly messages, he has been emphasizing the importance of reading Srila Prabhupada's books and expertly
Mm.
presenting the philosophy to the public, to preach Lord Chaitanya's message to the public. And he also does this thing, like if you read his monthly messages, Mataji, you can see that he speaks about his female disciples that are doing mass preaching, Mataji, big, like really, really big Bhakti Risha programs and everything. And when I read that, I see how dedicated are these Matajis, and they are actually really giving all their life in dedication to doing Srila Prabhupada, to the service of Lord Chaitanya, to the service of their Guru. And they want to
Mm.
preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is because of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj that
Mm.
okay. And when I heard this, and then I started doing book distribution regularly. I used Since I'm a working person, I go during the weekends, public holidays, and any festivals that I can get. Like if there's a Hindu festival in Malaysia, Hindu festival, I go to the temples and other temples and try to do the book distribution activities. And it is because of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj that it is a desire of every book distributor, Mataji. I'm sure that you can connect with this one,
Yes.
that you want to distribute the sets, like like you want to, like I want to distribute. Right, Bikunja Vasini Mataji, you want to do the sets. I'm praying, like, please, I want to distribute the Bhagavatam sets and the Chaitanya Charitamrita sets, but please, Lord Chaitanya, give me the strength to do this. There was one when the Bhadra program was started, when Vaisheshika Prabhu did this, this global Bhadra program. His Holiness in 2018, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami actually sent a message to all, like a message to all his centers. He said, this is by my heart. I memorize this, and I keep this every time it is in my heart, like permanently. And sets of Srimad Bhagavatam going out from all my centers will bring me great joy, because I know that it pleases Srila Prabhupada very much. So he wants
Mm.
everybody to take the to actually distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And when I saw this message, both myself and my god brother Gokul Damodar Prabhu, we volunteered. And we wanted to do this. So we implemented it we had great support from our local, our temple president, and also the BBT director, His Grace Simeswar Prabhu. And our president is His Grace Kripa Prabhu at that point. Kripa Sindhu Prabhu is also our president right now. And
Mm.
we actually went all out to distribute these Bhagavatam sets. And in 2020, during the COVID pandemic, although we had like a short weeks, but with COVID pandemic, we could not go out regularly. At some point, you get to distribute only but you can go out to, okay, they said like conditional lockdown or a full lockdown. So during the conditional lockdown, we went out to give out the sets. Otherwise, it's gonna be posted to the recipient's house. We really went all out to distribute the Bhagavatam sets.
Mhm.
Last year, in 2024, Mataji, uh, my Guru Maharaj came to Malaysia, and he was saying that that he had cataracts in his eyes, and he could not see the devotees very clearly, and he could not see the devotees very clearly. And he actually, if he hear the devotee speaking, and then he can actually recognize who's the devotee is. So at the airport, as he was going to leaving Malaysia and going back to India last year, I saw the devotees. We went to send a Guru Maharaj at the airport, Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. And the devotees, we like to, all of us like to get his association. We were crowding him, all around him. So I was just standing and I was looking, and they were doing like, calls with their family members and asking Guru Maharaj to bless them, and they were all speaking. And then he looked at me. I was just looking what was going on. And then he looked at me from a distance. I said, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. And then he said to me, the only questions that he asked me was, how many books? And then, so I thought that, that was really like a special, like Lord Chaitanya made this special arrangement. Like, he said he couldn't see. And then I felt like, I quickly took out my phone and I read to him the book scores. That was the day that,
Mhm.
it was the day of the Tithi of Bhadra Purnima, and he went straight to the point. How many sets? And then when I was reading to him, actually, Mataji, I didn't do very well last year because my mom she was hospitalized, so I had to look after her.
Mhm.
But I know that my Guru Maharaj wanted me to remain steadfast, and he wants me, like, um, she's doing better now. She's coming with me on book distribution as well. She's really inspiring me. She's amazing. She's an amazing lady. Indra Lakshmi Narasingha Mataji. She does book distribution with me. She's 69 years of age.
Wow.
Yes. And despite her health challenges, even when I tell her, Ma, please, I want you to stay at home and look after yourself. You don't stop me from doing this. This is my life. Book distribution is my life. Do not stop me. She said that
Mhm.
I get the spiritual energy, the enthusiasm when I come out with you on books. Okay, I said okay, okay. And then she said that, and then he said to me that, he told me that, when he told me that, then I thought that, no matter what happens, any obstacles, anything that were to happen, go on to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. So if you're asking me what really inspires me, it's my Guru Maharaj who has inspired me, and his instructions are keeping me keeping me all enthused, so much of utsahan that I get whenever he speaks. I take opportunity to listen to him every time he gives a class at night, and then and I catch up with him on Saturdays. I listen to the recorded class, his Bhagavatam class. He even said that, every day you should pray to Lord Chaitanya and Prabhupada to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mataji, I have an extrovert nature. So we know how the nectar of instruction, vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, like, we
Mhm.
have to speak, use our tongue to speak, or to speak Krishna and not nonsense. Use
Yes.
use our senses to speak, or for the devotional service, dedicate it to Krishna. So I thought that, the best thing with this extrovert nature is to actually utilize it in book distribution activities. Since it's not difficult for me to speak to strangers, to meet new people, to be friends with strangers, to meet
Mhm.
anyone new. So I thought that, and I made many friends through book distributions. They are all wonderful people, and I love it. It is so nice that, I love book distribution, that sometimes the okay, when we have like celebrations like Ram Navami or Narsingha Chaturdasi sometimes in the temple, and it's simultaneously going on in other Vishnu temples. Although I miss the activity at the temple, but it brings a lot of joy to see somebody receiving Srila Prabhupada's book, and the seed of devotion is actually planted in their heart. I missed many times festivals at our temple because I'm on book distribution elsewhere, because book distribution is so ecstatic that you want to do it, and it is addictive. That's what I would say. And we get very, very dear to Srila Prabhupada, and that's what we want, Mataji. Yeah, that's my answer.
No, it's true though. And it's so evident that, Srila Prabhupada, he was very encouraged, or like he really appreciated, when devotees would go out and do book distribution. And you can see the same thing in his disciples, because I've had similar experiences with my Guru Maharaj, how pleased he was with book distribution. And I didn't know this until recently, because yeah, some devotees told him what I was doing here. And even just, I remember I was at the airport with him, we were seeing him off, and I did one small book. It was Beyond Birth and Death in the airport. And somehow that guy that we met, he sat, I think, across or to the side of Guru Maharaj. And one of my godbrothers told him, like, oh, Nikunja, she gave this book. And he was so pleased. He sent an email. And I was like, oh my God, one book. Imagine if I do more, how pleased he'd be. So it's a very pleasing service, I think, for all Prabhupada disciples, all devotees, and ultimately Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna. It's yeah, very enlivening service. So I think you answered the next question as well, which was what inspires you to go on book distribution and how you get the courage to do this. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
The book distribution, initially when we had like a group of devotees, and then they would have some commitment, and then but still we would not want to leave it, and we wouldn't want to take that as an excuse, but we want to be committed, and then we would go and carry on to do it on our own, even whatever that we have, uh, whatever that may come along. But we want to go on and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books, because this is a dedication towards Srila Prabhupada. So if
Mm,
you're asking about courage, Mataji, I always think about how Prabhupada, he himself distributed books at the age of 70. There's a nice clip that I saw that he said that, I'm an old man, I don't have money, I'm on the streets of New York distributing books. Even did that. He even went on a solo basis in and distributed books back to Godhead magazines in his older age. How you said it very nicely. You said that, we see how Prabhupada's disciples, they are very happy to hear when we distribute books. And we
mm,
get encouraged by them, actually. I get so encouraged when I see there are so many pictures of His Holiness Janananda Goswami Maharaj. he sits, he play his cartels and he'll be distributing books in France on his own, and he's also at a senior age, and he jumps in the kirtan. He's all, he's very very ecstatic when he's in transcendental book distribution.
Yes.
So I take them all as my inspiration. They are like those. They are all my great examples in my life. Like I've heard the okay, we come, when we come to the female disciples of Srila Prabhupada, I've heard, Mula Prakriti Mataji speaking how Prabhupada was so happy when she spoke on distributing the Bhagavatam, and I hear how Daivi Shakti Mataji, she's doing international book distribution in Vrindavan, and
Mhm.
you hear her classes, she speaks the philosophy very eloquently, very, very nicely. She presents the philosophy given in the books, and I just love to hear whenever she gives classes. I would listen to the recording or online classes that goes on in Vrindavan. And she spoke on a very nice thing that really inspired me, Mataji, on Gopal Krishna Maharaj.
Mhm.
She told me that in the 1970s, when they were distributing books in New York City in the bus basement, and it was really, the place was like so filthy and everything. But after working hours, when Gopal Krishna Maharaj is actually a grihastha before, and he had very big position, he would come in his tie with his full suit after work hours late at night. He would not go home. He would come to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books, Mataji. That is the
Wow.
dedication that we have by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. And
Mhm.
keep me encouraged, and to have all this courage. I speak to many of Srila Prabhupada's disciples to understand how they overcome challenges, because sometimes in our life, we have difficulties and challenges that may we have as book distributors, and we need some consultation. And I do that. I speak to Prabhupada's disciples, and I get some advice from them. I took the guidance of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. He is my Siksha Guru, so I listen to his classes very often, and try to follow in the footsteps and whatever that he's teaching on book distribution. And I really like what Prabhupati Prabhu did. He distributed over 1 million books a few years ago that I read his article.
Yeah.
There's something that I want to share with you, Mataji. You know, uh, I like to go on Vraja Parikrama with Dinabandhu Prabhu. Dinabandhu
Mhm.
Prabhu is a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he takes over many years, over 40 over years of Vraja Parikrama devotees. He takes devotees on Vraja Parikrama, and when we go to Radhakund, that's where I like is I really like to go to Radhakund, and then the midpoint between the joint between Radhakund and Shamakund. He says that when he stands there, he would stand, okay, so this is the place, this is the birthplace of book distribution. This is where Prabhupada received the instruction that if you have, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said to him, if you have money, print books. If you have money, and then he said that, so Prabhu, and then Dinabandhu Prabhu will say that, so we all want to get very close to Srimati Radharani. We want to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So if you want Radha Bhav, you should do book distribution. He would say that,
Everyone.
yeah, so you all go, Jai, yeah. So that's my inspiration, that's my courage. They are all my courage. And in Malaysia, I take a lot of guidance from His Grace Simeswar Prabhu, the
Mhm.
regional secretary of Malaysia, and I asked him if there's anything on book distribution I need to get ideas of how to do it rightly. We would always seek the blessings of Singeswar Prabhu here in Malaysia.
Mhm.
He's the regional secretary for Asia List.
So I was also wondering, just as a female distributor, because I have a similar problem, what is your biggest challenge and how do we overcome this during book distribution?
Okay, one thing about us being a female book distributor, there are benefits because benefits that like people normally like they are very kind, and people tend to be gentlemen towards females. They try to be nice and kind, but on the other hand, there's tendency of be getting bullied as
Mhm.
well.
Yes.
So people can be harsh to you, and then it's difficult for you to overcome that. But Vaisheshika Prabhu uses the example of ripened and unripened fruit. You approach the ripened fruit, and if it's unripened, and then you deal it in a very nice way, so that we want to avoid problems, as we are representing ISKCON and Prabhupada. We want to not like sometimes it can also irritate us, but we have to really deal it in a be very tolerant and deal it in a nice way. The other thing is, Mataji, I think this is very important to me, for female. It's the safety, the hours, and the place. These
Yeah.
things are important, because as females, we have to be very careful about the places we go to. So we should go to places where public, like it's easily accessible to public. It is not in a secluded place or lonely lanes or something. I think even for Prabhus now, that is not very secure. But we should
Mm.
avoid going to. I think that we should go to safe places and safe hours, and not late hours at night, walking alone late hours at night. If we, as female book distributors, it's best to get partners with us all the time. But sometimes there are situations that people can't make it for the book distribution, so you have to be on your own. But try to go to safe places, and if you're putting up a book table, make friends with the other merchants around there. That's what I do, Mataji, so that if
Yes.
there's anything, we can always ask for their assistance, or we need something. There were some even help me to like put my book table. They help me sing carrying care. They see me carrying heavy things, they help me to arrange the books for me. And if you have the chance to be friends with some police authorities, and then try to be friends with them, in case if there's anything, you can easily contact them. That's I think that the challenge that we could have.
And my mistake. It's not a problem being a female book distributor because actually, whatever we have, we can use that in Krishna's service really nicely. And like you said, there's some very strong benefits as well for us
Yeah.
being a female body. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I understand what your question was heading towards to, because even I have faced these things, and
Mm.
especially regarding safety, it is very important for us. So we want to be safe, because we are going out there, putting ourselves out there, and but we have to be very careful about how we do things. So that's more like it.
Yes, 100%.
Mm.
And I know you're also balancing, full-time work and other services. And on top of that, you're doing consistent and very steady book distribution. I know every Saturday I see your photos and all the people that are getting books from you. So how do you keep this balance so that you can continue steadily with your services?
Actually, Mataji, I get this question quite often, because okay, one thing, they think that I'm a full-time book distributor and not work. They don't think that I'm working actually. But then when I said no, Prabhu Mataji, you can see that I only post my book distribution activities during the weekend or public holidays or some festivals. That's when I post them. Oh, really? But you look like you're doing it all the time. Then I said, okay, yeah, in between, if I happen to meet somebody and then I distribute books, or I have to go to somebody's place and give them the sets, I do that. Uh, okay, my job, I am of legal profession, and and I provide global support, and it can be, it can take a lot of your time. But I would say that I think ISKCON now is full of many Grihastha devotees, and I think everyone is like trying to strike a balance between work life and maintaining house, maintaining your household, and plus devotional service. So
Mm.
devotional service is always like putting Krishna in the center in everything that we do. So for me, like we can see the life of his you can see the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a magistrate, but he dedicated his whole his life to devotional service, and he's an author writing books. Prabhupada was a dedicated Grihastha, and he became a sannyas later, and so was Gopal Krishna Maharaj.
Mm.
In ISP, you can see their monthly Sankirtan scores in the newsletter, and they are made of all Grihastha devotees there, but they are doing mass book distribution under the guidance of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. So they are all inspirational to me. So I think the answer to this is to have a proper life balance. Means I can't afford to waste time. So I have to have a good okay book distribution, like how Vaisheshika Prabhu says, means high sadhana, that we have to. There's no compromise on sadhana, Mataji. That's right? You have to do
Yes.
your rounds on time, Mangla Arti, concentrated. Try your best to do the concentrated rounds. So we, because we have a very full life, we have to plan in advance. Means that if your books are running out of stock, you have to quickly arrange them in advance. And besides working, we also have our household to manage, and I look after my elderly parents. So I think this is all about having proper planning, and make sure to put your devotional service as your priority. Do not procrastinate in your work. Like if you have something, if you are you're working, and try to finish up work on time. And if sometimes urgent things just come and we cannot afford to avoid it or something, then we have to deal with it. But otherwise, try to do everything very efficiently and effectively, just like
Mm.
many other devotees are doing it. But book distribution, of course, it takes physical and mental energy. You have to be very very strong. So yeah, just try, and I'm sure Krishna will help us along the way.
Mm.
You're
And I think
also
that
working. Yeah, sorry, Mataji. You're
yes.
also a working person, and I think the best person to answer this question is you, because you're going out on book distribution daily after your
For
of
now.
after your work. But I'm sure it's giving you a lot of enthusiasm. That's what it does to me whenever I go out on books. That's keeping me giving, like how Vaisheshika Prabhu says it, spiritual oxygen. That's your spiritual
Yeah.
oxygen, and that's giving me all those utsahan. Gopa Krishna
Mm.
Maharaj, I think, I say Prabhupada, when Gopa Krishna Maharaj told about his book distribution, yes, my books are distributed by the enthusiasm of my devotees, of my
Yes.
disciples, the devotees. He said something in that line. So that's keeping us going. Yeah, you maybe I think perhaps I should interview you on that one and ask
No.
Kunja Vasini Mataji, can you let me know how do you balance?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, my friend and I were just trying to go out at the moment for Akshay Tritiya. So we're gonna try it for 21 days. But it's really nice because, you have something that you're working towards at the end of the day. So like the way we're planning our day, it's all linked to we have to go out today and do book distribution. We need to finish our rounds by a certain time. We have to finish like they're studying as well, my friend. So she has to finish like her assignments and things on the side. So it turns into a whole time management thing. But I find also somehow when you're trying to have that strong sadhana at the start of the day and grounding yourself in the holy name in Prabhupada's books, it's somehow the day just magically pans out. And also just prayer as well. Krishna, please, I have to do all of this stuff. I need to finish
Yeah.
this before I go out on books. Please help me. And I was just telling my friend, it's like it's a miracle that I completed all this stuff. Like it's normally not possible. But somehow Krishna is arranging, Guru Maharaj's mercy. Somehow everything just, fits together. And it's magical. Book distribution is magical. There's no, you can't explain it in just words.
That's right, Matuji. That's the exact feeling that I get.
Yeah. So you must have some stories as well that you can share with us on book distribution, and maybe also I know there's many faiths as well in Malaysia. So if you had any stories around, interfaith distribution or preaching to people that maybe wouldn't normally take a book.
Actually, Mataji, when I go on book distribution, right? So there's a I like to hear lectures by His Grace Rameswar Prabhu, the Rameswar Prabhu, once the BBT trustee, and he said this. He says this: when you go out on book distribution, you do not discriminate anyone. We do not discriminate on any person. We do we try to approach everyone. Do not think that this person is not, just looking at the person and think, oh, this person is not going to take the books. This person will take the book. I'm only going to approach this person because he looks nice or something. But we try to approach anybody, and then try to adapt that mindset, and I try to
Yes.
speak to everybody, and try to ask them to please take a book. And I love to distribute books to people of different background and faith, and I just love that. But I think the approach is always different. Like if you distribute books to Hindus, you can honestly, you can straightforward tell them, okay, this is a Bhagavad Gita, and I'm sure you've heard, sir, this is a Bhagavad Gita. You try to tell them in a nice way, sir, it would be very kind of you to take a copy of this. We tell them that. But when we distribute to other faith, and then we have to make a connection with them, build a
Mm.
friendship, and try to speak to them and get to know them further, and speak and try to distribute the books to them. And I distributed many books to to Christians, Buddhists, and other faith in Malaysia. So there's one particular book distribution story that I can share with you on a Roman Catholic family. During the COVID pandemic, Mataji, I actually was retrenched from my job, and we were doing prashadam sales from home. So I used to advertise this a lot on social media, Facebook, Instagram, that I was doing this. And then there's one lady, a Roman Catholic lady, she used to order from me often, and she started speaking to me, and she was like, she really liked there's this nice buns that we make with nice chili sauce, Malaysian chili sauce, and she loves it very much. And she called me and she said, we really like your what you're selling. And we made friendship. I became friends with her, and then she found out that we are Hare Krishna devotees. And she was a very open person, a nice Roman Catholic lady that I met. And then one day I was thinking that, I want to try to give her books as well. So I went to deliver the prashadam to her, and then I said, and because she's a very approachable person, and she was open to listen to me. I said, I have some nice books to give you. And Mataji, that in that science of self-realization, there's a topic, Christ, Krishna, Christo, Christ, or something like that. There's a topic like that. And I
Mhm.
said, you can read on this one and see the connection. And then you can read on the Bhagavad Gita. So I told her to read on those two books. And she actually said, okay, fine, I will get the books from you. And she was very happy to get those books from me. She said, yes, I'm open, and I like to learn about uh, this 5,000 year old literature that you're saying. I heard so many nice things about Bhagavad Gita. People like to use these celebrities, and they speak about Bhagavad Gita and everything. So she said, like, I've heard like how the Bhagavad Gita changed the life of everyone. I said, and you're getting the best version, you're getting the most authentic Prabhupada's version of the Bhagavad Gita, no adulterated purport, no adulterated translation, as it is 100% genuine, and you're getting it from a bona fide sampradaya, a bona fide acharya. So I would tell them these things. And then she called me the next time to make her next order, a food order. And during that time she said, sister, I want to tell you something. You made such big changes to our life. And I said, oh really, what happened? She said, my daughter came into the kitchen that day, and I was actually cutting the fish, and she said to me that, Ma, do you know that you're actually killing the fish because the fish has soul and this is a sinful activity. And
Wow.
that is by reading the Science of Self-Realization. I thought that I'm going to be in trouble.
Mhm.
And she said, sister, thank you so much for, my daughter, she was feeling down. And when she read this book, she got so enthused. Her life she's changing. And she's speaking to me all these nice things by reading the Science of Self-Realization. And I'm going to read those books. My daughter starts reading those books. One is reading the Bhagavad Gita. The other one is reading the Science of Self-Realization. They are telling me all kind of things. And they are telling me all those transcendental knowledge gems that they are getting from those books. So I was, it made me so happy to hear this, that, we are like instrument to Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada in giving out those books. And when
Mhm.
they are telling me this, and then I said, sister, I have like a whole set of treasure to offer you. That is, I'm actually giving Lord Krishna, the whole of Lord Krishna to you, literal form of Lord Krishna. She said, oh, really? Yes. I said, from the lotus feet of Lord Krishna up to his whole body. That is called the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the spotless Purana. It is a 5,000-year-old literature. It is Krishna himself, and Krishna coming to your house means your house becomes a place of pilgrimage, and all the holy rivers, all the devas, you'll become and take the blessings of the Srimad Bhagavatam there. She said, oh, really? Yes. And there's everything is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Every topic that you want to learn is covered there. And then she said, okay, let me give a thought about it. And then after sometimes she called me up to make another order. I said, okay, sister, can I ask you, what did you think about the Srimad Bhagavatam set? She said, okay, since you're saying such nice things about the sets, then okay, I will take the set. And then she gave me the donation for the Bhagavatam set, and I actually went to her house. We did like a small installation ceremony. I spoke about Srimad Bhagavatam. I played to them the video of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami playing, saying that how your house becomes a place of pilgrimage by placing the Bhagavatam sets. And then they also took chanting beads to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that to me was something really, like, really, really so blissful in Sankirtan.
Yes. They got the holy names, Bhagavatam and Prasadam. Wow.
Yes, prasadam is really one of our secret weapon to get somebody.
Time bombs.
Yeah.
So you must be distributing lots of different books, but do you have a favorite book to distribute? And if so, why?
Mataji, when it comes to, okay, I have a number of favorite books actually to distribute. We often ask somebody to get the Bhagavad Gita
Mm-hmm.
to start off with. But if you're asking the favorite book that I really like to distribute is Krishna, because I know how Prabhupada likes to hear the Krishna Leela when every time, and I want people to, like how Prabhupada says that he wants Krishna to go in thousands, because people should understand that the Lord is a complete, like he has complete, is the Lord is a person. He has a personal form, supreme person. He has a personal form, and not like, impersonal form of the Lord. And the Lord reciprocates with the devotees. The Lord is very loving, compassionate, and kind. So I always want them to get the Krishna book. And generally, I like to distribute the Science of Self-Realization, because everybody loves that when they see the cover of Science of Self-Realization. Oh, what is this book about? People who are even non-God believers. I distributed a number of Science of Self-Realization to atheists. They look at the topic, okay, fine, I'm not so much of a God believer, but this book, I can take it. That's what they will say. So that book, it really has very the way that is structured. The topics are so nice and interesting. very solid presentation, and I like to distribute teachings of Lord Chaitanya, because many people do not know that Lord Chaitanya is actually the incarnation of Lord Krishna. So they would ask me, "Who's this person? Who's this yellow person? Who's this person?" And I will try to explain to them, and I said, "It is because of him. These books are all here. It is because of him we are chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra." And then some would take the book, some will say it's okay, it's okay, maybe I'll take something else. But those are the books that I like to distribute. And it's my dream that, I would want to distribute Bhagavatam sets as often as I can every day, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So yeah, those are the books that I really like to distribute.
Nice. And it's true, right? A lot of people, they don't know who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I've also
Yes.
noticed that. I remember in one of Swami Bhagwan Kesha Maharaj's classes, he was talking about, I think it was a devotee introducing some guests, or maybe not a devotee, somebody was introducing some guests to the deities. And they were like, oh, this is like Radha and Krishna. I think they went Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. Like there's different deities. I think Sita, Ram, Lakshmana, Hanuman. And then they got to Gaur-Nitai, and they're like, this is Love and Kush. So it's like it's completely off. So yeah, it's important, I think, because this is the Yuga avatar, and people don't
Yes.
know about him. So yes. And for devotees who are just starting book distribution, what advice would you give to them to kind of start, regular, consistent book distribution?
Okay. Like I think that, if they can take this the guidance. Okay, I would suggest to them to get this book, Our Family Business, by His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. He has given step by step stories on book distribution. I love that book. It is so ecstatic. And he actually says that what are the things that you need to do to start off with book distribution. They can start reading that. And devotees, for devotees who wants to start on book distribution, don't be afraid. Make your first step. Go out there and you start. If you're feeling a bit shy, and then you try to approach your friends and family first, and then try to talk to them, and then gradually make bigger steps and go out and do big plans. Prabhupada always wants us to think big and expand the movement. So make bigger steps, grow out, go far and wide, and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. One thing about book distribution that Vaisheshika Prabhu says is high sadhana, strict, serious, and sincere with yourself. But to be very kind to others means that we have to have a very regulated sadhana. And when we do our chanting in the morning, we pray to Srila Prabhupada, we pray to the Guru Parampara, Lord Chaitanya, to Radha Krishna, to Lord Nitai, please always help me to, be an instrument in this service. We be in a helpless state and we seek for their help, that we want to do this. We want to dedicate our lives to book distribution. To, we want to do this preaching activity. One thing a book distributor would understand, Mataji, we are not the doer. We are
Yes.
just the instrument. Yeah, we are just instruments to the movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So and you think that you make your prayer every morning, like how you said it, Mataji, earlier when you were speaking about balancing your work life and plus sadhana plus book distribution activities plus your home commitment. You said that we must make a prayer, right? Prayer is
Yes.
powerful, Mataji. Prayer is really powerful. Make a prayer every day. And like how Jayapataka Swami said, every day you should pray to Lord Chaitanya and Prabhupada that you should preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vaisheshika Prabhu always quote this Advaita Acharya's prayers, how he prayed intense prayer, that when the world was going through difficulties, age of quarrel, crazy things were going on, and Advaita Acharya prayed in really fervently, intensely, that he wants Lord Chaitanya, we want the help of Lord Chaitanya, we want he prayed really with so much firm and faith and conviction that he want Krishna to appear, and he came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we must have that prayer mood in our heart always, and have a target of books that you like to distribute. Make appropriate preparations. And okay, one thing is, different countries things work differently, so you have to see locally what is applicable to you, see what are the strategies you can implement, come up with nice ideas, pray to Lord Krishna for ideas, pray to the Lord to help you out with this service, and speak to senior devotees who have been doing book distribution. Listen to the lectures of Prabhupada, listen to the lectures of your Guru Maharaj, take guidance of all the senior devotees who are doing book distribution, especially locally if they are available, and try to see how you can implement solid and better book distribution ideas. That's what I think it is. You like to add on, Mataji, anything to this?
Me? I'm interviewing you.
It's okay. This is like a conversation to me.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I didn't really think about advising people, but yeah, I think a big thing with book distribution is just surrender. That, because like one thing I find as well, it's like we have the books, and then sometimes I might be like hesitant to go and give someone a book because just like, it takes some time to warm up. And then I'm like, you've got these books. The books, Prabhupada wants the books to go out. Lord Krishna wants the books to go out. You're holding the books. You have to approach the people for the books to go out. It's because sometimes people are not going to come to you. You have to approach them. And that's, I guess, our duty as well as ISKCON devotees, as initiated devotees. What can we do to serve Prabhupada? And just, yeah, surrendering to the process, that we are not the doer. I think that's a big, big part of book distribution.
You said it very nicely, Mataji. Like, you have to go out and approach somebody. That's what Lord Chaitanya wants us to do, to go out and give the holy names to everyone that we meet, speak about Lord Krishna. That's really a nice thing that you have mentioned, yes. We have to do it. We have to go out and give the message.
We have to do our part. That's what I was trying to
Yes,
say. If we
yes,
don't do our part, then, we're just not taking part. The opportunity
yes.
is there to be part of it, but we just need to take that opportunity. Just like the mercy is there, but we need to take it.
Yeah, that's right, Mataji.
And lastly, would you like to share one inspirational message on book distribution to encourage others to also go out?
This book distribution, it's like the biggest, greatest opportunity, biggest benediction given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to us, because in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can see that Lord Chaitanya requested all his followers to go out to give the holy names of the Lord, to give the message of the Lord to everyone, and to tell everyone to be a gardener and plant the seed of devotion and give them the holy names. So, uh, so we are very, very fortunate to be part of this movement, to be instruments to Lord Chaitanya and the Guru Parampara. Srila Prabhupada has said that the book distribution is the biggest welfare work, and it's the natural inclination of someone to actually to be compassionate and towards others, and we want to help someone. So the best way to do this is to give the message of the Lord, and that is by distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one who gives my message to the others are the dearest to me. So when we are acting as the instruments of the Lord, we are being the instruments of to Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nitai, Srila Prabhupada. We are actually we are actually not the doer, and we are actually acting under the Guru's instructions, and they are getting the best. They are getting Srila Prabhupada's literatures. So, Prabhupada would say that what is the, what is the use of the 2-3 minutes of your preaching, 3 minutes of your preaching. But if one gets the book, his life will be changed. The book distribution is the best preaching work. book distribution is his life and soul. So they are getting it directly. They are receiving this message directly from Srila Prabhupada. They are getting, our duty is just to give the book, but Prabhupada is actually doing the work. Prabhupada is with them. Prabhupada, they are associating with Prabhupada. That's the biggest service that they can do. And especially when you see that their life is transforming, they would, keep in touch with those that you're distributing books. They would come back to you for questions. They would come back to you and invite them to our temple programs and tell them how nice, be friends with them and tell them to please come to, and how nice is our ISKCON temple programs. We have nice prasadam, we have kirtan. You can sing, you can join our festivals. They'll be so happy, and when you see the life transformation happening to them, that is the biggest happiness that you are part of this transcendental pastimes of Lord Chaitanya that is happening right now. That is book distribution. Think about the sacrifices that Srila Prabhupada has made every night. He did not sleep. He translated the purports, translated the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Isopanisad, and all other books. He gave us those treasures, this timeless wisdom, this oldest literature, and he told us to go out to distribute these books. He did it until his last breath. He took it because his Guru Maharaj gave us this instruction. So by doing this, you're actually, it is an instruction given by his Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Param Guru. So think about how much sacrifices Prabhupada made in giving these books to us. His books are the law books for the next 10,000 years. How much he went on, how much he did to establish ISKCON. So just think that you're so fortunate to be part of this movement, to be an instrument to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada. How much Srila Prabhupada is pleased when you're doing this. We are the, spiritual grandchildren of Prabhupada. My Guru Maharaj used to say this, my Guru Maharaj is already very merciful. And he likes to say this quote that Prabhupada had said that, the father is the merciful, but the grandfather is even more merciful than the father himself. So imagine how much we are pleasing our spiritual grandfather Srila Prabhupada, and how much he's going to be happy with us distributing these books. And we always think about, I want to get close to Srila Prabhupada. How it feels to be like with Srila Prabhupada. But this is the connection that you make with Srila Prabhupada by giving out his books, by following his orders. There are numerous amount of lectures, numerous amount of instructions that Prabhupada has given on book distribution, and how much important it is to us. Preaching is the force. So go out all there, give your heart, give your life and soul, dedicate it to book distribution. We love it. Nikunja Vasini Mataji loves it. I love it. We want to dedicate our lives to book distribution for the pleasure of Sri Guru and Gauranga, especially Srila Prabhupada, who we really, really love so much. That's all, Mataji. Your glories to Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai, jai, jai.
Hare Krishna! Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Sankirtan On. For more resources, visit us at www.distributebooks.com. See you next episode, and remember, carry on, together strong, Sankirtan On!